Okay. Very good afternoon to all of you, present offline and present online. Okay. Today we are not going to start with a new chapter. Okay. We are not starting with your chapter number 3, that is your IPC. Okay. Inter-process communication. But we are going to practice one sum that can be coming in your exam. Okay, or I'll give you a practice, an overview of how actually the sum are getting asked regarding your scheduling. Okay, so you have to solve that sum today, everybody. The screen is visible to all online students? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See, this is the sum, okay, and this is how actually they ask in the exam. So far, you have known the bus timings, the arrival timings. If you are sitting offline, kindly phones inside and in silent mode. Okay. This is how actually the sums get asked. Okay, every time you are not going to be given the arrival timings, as so far you have got accustomed to. What I used to do is I used to give you the arrival timings, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the question, if you just observe, it is said the processes are assumed below the table. The processes are assumed to have arrived in the order P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, all at time 0. So arrival timing of all the processes is 0. So if you want to write, okay, you guys can write something like this. Online students you won't be able to see, but those who are sitting offline. You can write 80 and your PID 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay. 80 you can write 0, 0, 0, 0 and 0. And burst timing is already given there in the question, that is 10, 1, 2, 1 and 5. So like this you can prepare the chart. Okay. So that you get that known feeling so far that you have done with the algorithms. So you have to write PID, AT and BT. Priority already mentioned, already given in the data. Okay. It is said in the question, draw 4 Gantt charts. That means you have to solve 4 algorithms, right? That illustrate the execution of the process with the following scheduling algorithms. Algorithms have been mentioned. First you have to do FCFS, okay? Then you have to do SJF. When it is said SJF, it is not required to write that it is non-preemptive. It is by default understood. Okay. So FCFS, SJF. Then you have to see again non-preemptive priority. Non-preemptive priority. That means priority in a non-preemptive method. If I'm saying 1 plus 1 is 2, or if I'm saying 2 plus 3 is 5, then obviously 3 plus 2 is also 5. So it is nothing new here. Non-preemptive priority. So far we were addressing it as priority non-preemptive, right? So these are the 3 algorithms that you need to prepare the Gantt chart for. Along with non-preemptive priority, if you read the question properly, it is mentioned here, smaller priority number implies higher priority. That means smaller the number, higher the priority. So out of this priority, which process you are going to write H? Any others? One answer I got P1. Anybody else? You have to look at the priority and the condition that is given in the in the question. Smaller priority number implies higher priority. So in the question, which process is getting the highest priority? P4. एक minute.
P4 में.
Yes. बोल. तू बोल. तारा सु questions है. Just a second, online students. Please, Pachu बोल. आलो को बोलता था. P2. Smaller the number implies higher the priority. Right. See, here it is said the smaller priority number. That means out of 3, 1, 3, 4, 2. High implies the higher priority. That means smaller the number, higher the priority. Smaller the number of whom? For the priority. For priority, smaller number we are talking about in the priority column. Okay. So in the priority column, whichever number is the smaller, okay, that particular priority you are going to consider as the highest. That is what the line explains here. Smaller priority number implies higher priority. You are not going to consider burst timing when non-preemptive priority comes into the picture. Okay, the algorithm name itself says you have to consider the priority. And how you are going to consider the priority? Taking into consideration this sentence. A smaller priority number implies the higher priority. Okay. And you have to apply round robin with time quantum 1. Okay, so total 4 Gantt charts. 1 Gantt chart for FCFS, first come first serve. 1 Gantt chart for SJF. Okay, again SJF in non-preemptive method. Then you have priority on non-preemptive method, and the last one is your round robin with time quantum TQ equal to 1. Okay, start solving. First start preparing the Gantt chart. Don't give me turnaround time. Don't give me wait time. I just want 4 Gantt charts. Start preparing. કેમ નથી આવડતું? Main topic as in? Yes, Kushan.
મારે લીવ થવું પડે છે મીટિંગ માંથી. મારે બેંક નું કામ આવ્યું છે. લીવ થઈ શકું? હે?
Okay.
લીવ થઈ
Yes,
શકું?
please.
ઓકે, થેન્ક યુ મેમ.
हाँ जाओ. Yes. પહેલો સ્ટેપ તો આવડતો હશે ને? ઓફલાઈન માં ભલે આવ્યા, પહેલો સ્ટેપ તો આવડતો હશે ને? Okay, just tell me from where does the Gantt chart start? What is Gantt chart? Gantt chart draw કેમ થાય છે ખબર છે? વૈભવ, તારું નામ મને નથી ખબર. જો માં તો મારી સામે મોઢા તો ખબર પડી જાય ને બધાના. The class will end, sir, at 1:10. No problem. નામ જય. ભાર્ગવ, માનવ, ગથાની, નંદા, ઓકે, હાર્દિક, ઓકે, ચાવડા. No, he answers, that's why I remember him. Dhruvil, ne? Dhruvil and Jay. Okay, students who finishes the Gantt chart, FCFS, Ibrahim, okay. You can go for SJF. Offline students, for those who don't know, please wait. But that does not mean that you are talking among yourself, okay? That's why I'm standing here. This is revision. And this is the second example with all the algorithms. Then that is not possible, dear. Kindly watch the videos again. The content is already uploaded. I uploaded your PDF copy of the unit, whole unit. You can just have a look, and you are free to connect with me after that for the topics. Now again, don't come that all the topics are in doubt, otherwise I'll send you out. Try to understand. Whatever you are not getting, you come to me, I'll explain again. Yes, agreed, totally agreed. I am not in against with that, I know. But at least try to, grasp what all things are happening here. Otherwise, in mid-sem, if it is coming offline, then things will be very difficult. And this one algorithm sum is of 6 marks. If you do one algorithm correctly, 6 marks in your pockets. Exactly. And there will be minimum 2 questions of algorithms. So be prepared with all these 6. At least one will be there. Dhruvil, please help. આને ઊંચું કર થોડું. ઓકે ગમે કોઈ બી એક.
हेलो मैम.
થોડું કતો.
हेलो.
Yes, Vivek. Yes, Vivek.
मैम अराइवल टाइम.
Arrival timings, just a minute. Okay, thank you, Vaibhav. Arrival timings, dear, all of them are arriving at the same time. That is 0. It is written in the question below the table. Processes are assumed to be arrived in the order P1, P2, P3, P4, all at time 0.
Okay.
See, for those students who are there here offline and do not know, first FCFS. Okay, the scheduling criteria that you need to keep in mind is your arrival timing. Here the arrival timings are 0. So you will schedule it in the order they came in. The order is P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. So this is the easiest out of all 4 Gantt chart. Now what is Gantt chart? For those who don't know, here, okay, this is your Gantt chart, a chart that tells you which processes are scheduled one after the another. Okay, always just a minute. Online students, if you have any doubt, you need to speak up. Okay, I am not right now seeing the chat.
Okay, ma'am.
Your Gantt chart starts from 0, always, for any given algorithm. For students who are offline and do not know how to prepare the Gantt chart, always it is going to start from 0. Now you have to look which algorithm you are working on. It is FCFS, first come, first serve. The scheduling criteria you are going to take into consideration is arrival time. But as such, you guys are lucky, the arrival timing are zeros, so you don't need to focus on the arrival timings as of now because it is 0. If it would be having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you had to take arrival timings according to the CPU working here. Okay. Now, in the question itself, it is saying the processes are assumed to have arrived in the order. Order is also given to you. So here, first is P1. Okay. Now look at the burst timings. Burst timing for P1 is 10. So in FCFS, the rule is you are going to give CPU the working time of CPU to P1 for its entire burst time. Okay. So CPU running till 10 seconds. So you are going to write here 10. Alright. After this, the order is for P2. Okay. Here you don't have to consider now see P2 is having burst timing of 1 second. So add that 1 here. So it will become what? 11. Alright. Then in next in order is P3. P3 burst timing is 2. So add that 2 here. 11 plus 2, 13. Then P4. Okay. Burst timing is 1. So 13 plus 1, 14. And last one, P5. So it is 19. Now these timings, okay, are called the execution timings. Means the total time taken by that process to complete its entire task. Okay, so these timings are their execution timings. Execution timing for P1 is 10, for P2 is 11, for P3 it is 13, for P4 it is 14, and for P5 it is 9. Here you are going to record these timings. Okay, 10, 11, 13, 14 and 19. Okay, so this is the execution timing. This is what we are solving FCFS. Okay, now turnaround time. The formula is ET minus AT. Now as your AT is 0, okay, so this ET will come as it is here in the turnaround time. 10, 11, 13, 14 and 19. Right? Now you have wait timings. The formula is turnaround time minus burst time. Okay, the turnaround timings are here, burst timings given in the question. So 10 minus 10, so that is 0. 11 minus 1, so that is 10. 13 minus 2, so that is 11. 14 minus 1, so that is 13, and 19 minus 5, so that is 14. Okay, this is how you are doing your FCFS. Now you have to calculate total and the average of both turnaround time and wait timings. Total and the average of turnaround time and wait timings. Online students, are you getting the data of execution timing as 10, 11, 13, 14 and 19? Once again, I'm repeating execution timing in FCFS Gantt chart. 10, 11, 13, 14 and 19. Are you guys getting it?
Yes.
Okay, give me the total turnaround time that you guys are getting. Online students, total turnaround time. Online students, turnaround timing and wait timing total. For FCFS. Average value is? Here? Five point something? Okay, divide by 5. Now you are getting. The ultimate goal is you should score in the exam. And this algorithm should be there, understood practically by you guys. Okay? That's why this is the second practice actually. This is not the first time I'm taking the algorithm. Okay? One full lecture for one algorithm with 5 examples. One example solving all the algorithms on one particular example. And this is the third one. No, it just includes 4. There are total 6 algorithms. Okay. What was that, Hassan? All right, students, SJF completed or not?
Turnaround time is same as execution time.
Turnaround timing. What did you get, Vivek? Is it 67?
Is same as execution time, and total is 67.
Correct. An average? Average for turnaround timing. Offline students. 13.4?
Yes.
Correct. Even online students, you are right. 13.4 milliseconds. And average wait time, the total wait time is 48 milliseconds. I hope online students are getting the same answer. Average waiting time 9.6 milliseconds. Online students, you are getting the same thing? Okay, students who know how to do SJF, start preparing Gantt chart, turnaround time and wait time for SJF. offline students who don't know SJF and online students, kindly hear me out. The next algorithm is your SJF. Now SJF, when it is mentioned that it is SJF, it is a non-preemptive approach. Okay, and one thing you keep in mind, if it is non-preemptive approach, you are directly adding the burst timings. Okay, you are not running, there is an approach where you are running CPU for one unit of time. That approach is preemptive. SJF is non-preemptive approach in nature. Okay, so the second algo is SJF, shortest job first. So here the scheduling criteria, okay, that is your burst timings, because the name says shortest job first. You can take it in a way, some students are coming to me, I am the CPU. Okay, suppose Vaibhav has 5 doubts, he needs 10 minutes of my time. Kushant has 3 doubts, he needs 5 minutes of my time. Okay, so who am I going to take up first? I am going to take Kushant first. Why? Because I am following the non-preemptive approach and he is having the shortest job timing, right? So that is what SJF says, shortest job first. Scheduling criteria to be taken into the consideration is your burst timing. Now again, for preparation of the Gantt chart, okay, you are going to start preparing Gantt chart from 0 and you are going to see which process is coming at 0, all your processes, but the order is mentioned. All the processes, look at that column there, all the processes are at 0, arriving at 0, but it is specified that they are arriving in the order. Okay, so P1, P2, P3, P4. So in the available state, okay, you have P1, P2, P3, P4 and P5. Now look at their burst timings. Burst timings for P1, it is 10. Burst timing for P2 is 1. Burst timing for P3 is 2. Again 4 is 1 and 5 is 5. Now which is the shortest burst time out of this? P2 and P4. You have a tie. So you are going to break this tie following the FCFS. That means the process which came first. Now all the processes are coming at 0, but it is mentioned in the question that it is coming in one order. So the clear winner is P2, right? So you are going to schedule P2 here. Alright. Now as SJF is non-preemptive, so you are going to add the entire burst timing here. So P2 here 1. Okay. Now next will be P4. Again add 1. So that is 2. Fine. Now next is P1 and you have remaining P1, P3 and P5. Shortest burst timing is of P3. Right. So next is P3. Burst timing 2, so 2 plus 2, 4. So P3 is done. Now P5 and P1. So P5 is having the shortest burst time. So P5, burst timing 5, 4 plus 5 is 9. Okay. And P1, it is 10. So it is 19. Okay. So execution timing here. For P1, it is 19. For P2, it is
19.
1. For P3, it is 4. For P4, it is 2. And for P5, it is 9. Online students, the execution timings 19, 1, 4, 2, 9. Yes, Hassan.
Yes, ma'am. We have the arriving time is 0. So there is no change in our total and average.
In turnaround
I'm
timing,
talking
right?
about the preemptive. Yeah, I'm talking about the non-preemptive and preemptive.
In non-preemptive, yes. What about that?
Yeah, we will not have any change in our total and LVJ because it's all 0, so that it will be the same. Just we will
No,
consider the process at first.
no. Here SJF we are considering. Okay, just let me do one thing.
No, I'm
It will
talking
be
about the
helpful
total and
for.
LVJ. It will not change.
Just a minute, okay? Just give me a moment.
Okay, ma'am.
बोल. तो अराइवल टाइमिंग्स अलग है सर. Students, give me the data. Okay, we are solving your SJF. Now see here, 3 into 5. The Gantt chart, okay, you are taking into consideration their burst timings, right? Fine. Now, starting from 0, all the processes come in the ready state, correct? But in the question, it is mentioned that they arrive in one order. That is P1, P2, P3, P4 and P5, right? So, in your FCFS, you are considering that order. In your SJF, you have to consider their burst timings. Okay, the burst timing, the shortest time burst time is of P2 and P4. But because this is tie, you are going to break this tie with FCFS approach. So P2 gets the scheduling first. Okay, burst timing is 1. So CPU gets utilization for 1 unit of time with it because that is its entire burst time. Next scheduled is P4. Okay, burst timing again 1, so that is 2. Next in line scheduled is with the shortest job is P3. Okay, that is 2, so 2 plus 2, 4. Then you have P5. So 4 plus 5, that becomes 9. And the last one is P3. No, P1, sorry, with 10. So that becomes 19. Okay. So execution time will be 19.
Four, 2, 9.
Are you guys getting this Gantt chart and the execution time, online students?
Yes, ma'am.
Vivek, any doubt?
No.
All right. Give me the turnaround time and waiting time. Again, turnaround time, ET minus AT, so same thing. But you
The
have
same, ma'am.
to calculate the total.
35.
The total is
35.
32.
5.
35. Offline
Five,
students, addition, check out again. 25. Students, do I need to make you understand the addition also?
35.
All right, give me the waiting time here. Turnaround time minus burst time.
9,
19 minus
9.
10. Then,
0, 2,
then,
1, 4,
and total.
16. 3.2 average.
3.2 is the average milliseconds. Okay, 3.2 milliseconds, and turnaround timing average.
7.
Okay, so that's your SJF. Offline students, now please do not say that you don't know SJF. Okay. The next algorithm which they are asking you to solve is priority non-preemptive. Okay. Priority non-preemptive. So now what you have to do is you have to take into considerations the priorities. Three, 1, 3, 4, 2. Okay. 3, 1, 3, 4, 2. Students online, solved this question or is
Yes,
it
ma'am.
remaining? Okay, it's solved by you. Students offline, attention here, and online students also, those who don't know. See, now you have the third one as priority scheduling. Okay, but in priority scheduling, two types. The types are preemptive and non-preemptive, and here you have to go for non-preemptive approach. Okay, non-preemptive and preemptive. There are two approaches for the algorithms. Here in priority scheduling, you have to go for non-preemptive approach. Now, here you have to consider the priorities. Okay, this column. This column you need to take into the consideration. Okay. Now see, start preparing the Gantt chart. Okay, scheduling criteria. That is your priority column. Okay, this column is the scheduling criteria. Now here again you are going to start preparing the Gantt chart starting from 0. Okay, all the process is coming at 0th arrival time. In this particular scheduling algorithm, you are going to maintain one queue, a queue name available queue or ready queue or available process. You can understand in various books it is having various kinds of names, but it is the one same queue. So you are going to maintain an available process queue. Now at 0 means at this time 0. How many processes you have in the ready state, that you are going to write. So all the processes, okay. So P1, P2, P3, P4 and P5. Now record their priorities. Priority of P1 is 3. Priority of P2 is 1. Priority for P3 is 3. Priority for P4 is 4. And priority for P5 is 2. Okay. Now in the question, it is mentioned that smaller priority number implies higher priority. So in this smaller priority number, you are going to write H here. Okay? And in the higher priority, that is 4, you are going to write there L. Alright? So that means if the number in the priority column is small, that particular process gets the highest priority. That process will get scheduled first. So in our available state, the lowest number priority is held by P2. So you are going to write P2 first. Okay, and because it is non-preemptive approach, directly add the CPU burst timing. Burst timing for P2 is 1. Okay, so scratch this P2 off. It is done. Alright, now next compare the priority. The lowest priority out of all held by P5. Okay, so write P5 in the Gantt chart. Add the entire burst timing. P5 entire burst timing is 5. So 1 plus 5, so that is 6. Scratch off this P5. Okay. Now you have a tie between P1 and P3. Solve it using FCFS. But FCFS you have arrival timing 0. Right? So take into consideration their arriving order. P1 comes first. So P1, 6 plus 10. So that is 16. P1 is done. Now P3. P3, burst timing 2, 16 plus 2, 18. P3 is done. Remaining one is P4. P4, burst timing is 1, so 18 plus 1, 19. Okay, so P4 done. Execution timing, online students kindly verify if it is done. P1 execution timing is 16, P2 execution timing 1, P3 execution timing 18, P4 it is 19 and P5 it is 6. Online students, you are getting this answer?
Yes.
Execution timing 16, 1, 18, 19, 6.
Yes, ma'am.
16, 1, 18, 19 and 6. If you are getting, you are on right track, all of you. Now give me the turnaround timings and wait timings.
Turnaround is same as execution.
Turnaround same, 16, 1, 18, 19 and 6.
Yes.
Waiting time will be
6, 0.
16 minus 10, 6. 1 minus 1, 0. 18 minus 2, 16. 19 minus 1, 18. And 6 minus 5, that is 1.
Yes.
Yes, Vivek, absolutely right. 6, 0, 16, 18 and 1. Give me the total and the average. Quick students, total 60. Online students 60 milliseconds. Turnaround time, is it 60? 40.
41. Maybe.
39, 40. Just a minute. 30 and 10. So 40, 49, 40. Wait. It is incorrect.
It's 50, ma'am.
10, 20, 30, 40, 46, 46. Just a second, Hassan. 46 and 4, 50, 54, 54. It is 60. Yeah.
12.
Average 12 milliseconds. Do not forget. Okay, waiting time.
41.
8.2. 8.2.
8.2.
Correct. Correct, correct. Absolutely right. All of you, online, offline, both the students. Okay. And the last one is your round robin with time quantum given as 1.
P4.
I'll prepare the Gantt chart. Just a minute, Hassan.
Okay, ma'am.
I shall prepare the Gantt chart. You can verify that Gantt chart. Okay. And you yourself calculate the turnaround time and waiting time. Offline students who don't know and online students who don't know round robin, kindly listen. Also known as RR scheduling. Okay. Round robin or RR scheduling. The criteria of scheduling is your time quantum plus your arrival timings. Okay. Time quantum will be given to you in the question. If it is RR scheduling, time quantum will be given to you. Time quantum is nothing but a fixed amount of time the CPU is going to work. Okay. So that time quantum in our case is 1 millisecond.
Ma'am, I didn't
Okay,
get. Are you
so
talking about how many units?
Okay. Now here. Yes, Hassan.
I didn't get your idea because.
Can you repeat?
Are you talking about how many units?
Hassan, your voice is breaking. I'm not able to understand actually. Can you write in the
Okay.
chat? I'll read in the chat.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. Students, attention here. Again, the Gantt chart starts from 0. Okay. Again, here also you are going to maintain an available process state. Okay. A queue. Now, starting from 0, process which is coming in at 0, all your processes. Okay, so P1, P2, P3, P4 and P5. All right. Now, the thing is, time quantum is just 1 millisecond. Okay. Arrival timings, all of them are coming at 0, but order is there. So, each process is going to run for 1 millisecond. Now, starting from P1, running for 1 time quantum. Okay. Now, what you will do for this P1? This P1 from front, it is going to go back. Okay. So, removing this P1 from here, adding this P1 at the end. Next in line. Now, along with that, you need to update your burst timings. Burst timings currently for P1 it was 10, so now it is 9. P2 burst timing 1, P3 2, P4 1, P5 5. Okay, you ran P1, so now it is 9. Next, who is in front? P2. So you are going to write P2. Again, see what is the time quantum? 1 millisecond. So 2. Take this P2 back. P2, update this timing, now 0. So that means P2 completely executed. So you can scratch it off. Right? Now next in line is P3. Look at the time quantum, 1. So 3. Okay, take this P3 back. So P3 and 1. Who is the next first in line? P4. Your 1. Okay, so 4. P4 is now 0. You can remove it. Now it is P5. It is for running for 1 millisecond. So take this P5 back at the end. So P5, it is now 4. You have to repeat this process. Okay, the remaining ones, P1 at 9, P3 at 1, P5 at 4. Yes. Okay, now you have P1. So P1, again add 6. It is 8. P1 goes back. Now P3. It is 7. P3 completely ran off. So you now no need for P3. Next P5. Okay, running for one more time quantum. So 8. So this is 3. Now P1. Time quantum. Again 1. So 9. This is 7. P5. Again for 1 unit of time. So 10. This is 2. Now P1. 11. So this will be 6. You have to take this till this P1 gets executed. Okay. And end, wherever P1 is getting over, that is where you are going to write its execution timing. Okay. That's why it is round robin. Getting chance one at a time. Time quantum will be given to you in the question. Please do take these sums a little bit in a serious way. They are having 6 marks. Time quantum is not assumed. It will be given to you in the question. See, in the question it is given quantum equal to 1. I hope online students, everybody understood the question. And you have the appropriate answers also. Okay, students, we are wrapping up this session here. TD2 students, please be patient. Thank you all for attending the session. TD1 students, numbers in the chat. TD1 student, please remain patient. TD2 students, numbers in the chat. Okay, any TD1 student remaining, you can write your number in the chat and you are free to leave. Thank you all.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Hassan.
Ma'am, when will you upload
Okay,
these
it is
photos?
Hussein. No, it is Hassan. When will I update?
When will you upload these photos?
Okay, this photo I'll upload today.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Otherwise, the unit 2 is already there. Unit 2 PDF has been already uploaded. You can check it
Yes,
out.
yes,
And I will upload this Excel file also. Okay,
excellent. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
the file that we solved today.
Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am.